Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to welcome to this webinar on the what are the career opportunities today for the life sciences professionals in the uh, pharmaceutical industry, in the life sciences sector, and the related areas. And what I understand from the audience. Profile is a lot of students are from the pharmacy background, BScs, MScs, different cross sections of the life sciences sector. So today we will discuss the various opportunities in the areas which are in and around the pharmaceutical industry, in and around the life sciences sector. So one of the most important areas in the entire process where the actual value chain starts is the drug development process, or the medical devices, development process starts. So drug development is the part of the pharmaceutical industry. That's where the real action starts. That's where the drug initially goes into the initial sort of a research in the laboratory conditions, and then you identify the molecules, the range of molecules which will go through the various trial processes, including the preclinical studies, where we do the studies in the animal models to establish the safety and efficacy in the animal models in the preclinical space. And then we move to the clinical trial space, where we conduct the clinical trials in human beings. Clinical research means conduct of clinical trial, testing the safety and efficacy of the drugs in human beings. And we see the long-term safety, long-term efficacy of the drug. The drug business, the drug development business, the drug R&D business is about $250 billion industry. And this is growing at almost 8 to 9% each year. All the global top pharmaceutical companies, about 15 top pharmaceutical companies, invest close to about 20% of their revenues into the drug research, into the new R&D. And in in clinical trials, we spend close to about $40 billion annually are spent into the clinical trials. So that includes your all phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 studies, all analytical laboratories related with the clinical trial, clinical labs, all clinical operations related investments are close to about $40 billion and growing at almost 8% every year. The drug development takes about good 8 to 9 years, 10 years sometimes to bring the drug to the market. From the stage the drug goes into the laboratory sort of as testing to final at the pharmacy shop, it takes about good 10 to 12 years to bring the drug to the market. And it takes about $1 billion, and in some cases more investments are required. If you see the area like oncology into the cancer research, it takes a lot of time and money to bring the drug to the market. So average investment is close to about $1 billion for a new drug. The drug development process is very comprehensive. It's a high risk business. It requires a lot of investments, but at the same time, there are very high level of risk into the drug development business. If you're bringing in about 6,000 molecules, you may end up having only 60 molecules actually. Probably the success rate is less than 1% approximately of the drug which actually are able to come to market. So it's a very high risk business. It requires large number of professionals. You require professionals with the different skill sets. You require people with the uh, medical background. You require people from the pharmacy background. You need the life sciences professionals. So this is the industry where you require the cross section of professionals, from the nursing to the medical to the life sciences, biotechnology, pharmacy, dental surgeons. You require all sorts of professionals who come and contribute into the drug development domain. This requires large number of, wide range of skills. These skills are from these skills are from the conducting, from the laboratory level study, skill set required, people who are into the labs, people who are into the clinical operations, who require to conduct the clinical trials. You need investigators, medical doctors who need to be trained in conducting clinical trials. You need the clinical operations teams who need to be well trained into these skill sets. So you require the wide range of skill sets, from understanding the basic of drug development, to regulations, to essential documents, project management, how the clinical trials are actually conducted on site. So this program will give you the in-depth training into the clinical trial processes, how the clinical trials are conducted, uh, which are the various documents, essential documents, regulations, guidelines, project management, data management. It's a program which will give you comprehensive training on the clinical trials and get ready for the jobs in the pharmaceutical industry, into the clinical trials industry. The second area around the career options is pharmacovigilance. This is the science of drug safety. The pharmacovigilance means science of drug safety, which means we have to ensure the drugs which are during the clinical trials, during the research phase, or in post-marketing situation, in the post-marketing conditions, uh, you need to ensure the constant safety of the drug. It's always safety over efficacy. The drug may be efficacious, the drug may be working very well but it may have the major side effects. It may cause certain adverse events, serious adverse events, which may take place as a result of the drug. While we are developing the drug, we ensure that we are constantly doing the safety analysis of the drug. We ensure that while we conduct clinical trials, if there are safety issues come, we address them. If required, report them to the regulatory agencies as per the regulations. If required, terminate the trials if the drug is posing serious threats, causing deaths, permanent disabilities. You will terminate those clinical trials. So during clinical trials, it is equally important to ensure to conduct the proper pharmacovigilance program is running, proper drug safety program is running along with your clinical trials. Then comes the post-marketing pharmacovigilance. Now, once the drug is out in the market, uh, it is now the responsibility of the sponsor, the marketing authorization holder, to ensure the long-term safety of the drug. And we need to, as per the various regulations in EMA, in the European, in FDA, in Japan, Australia, Canada, now in India, and various other countries, we have very sound pharmacovigilance regulations, post-marketing pharmacovigilance regulations, and we need to ensure the constant safety reporting mechanism for the pharmacovigilance to the regulatory agencies. This would involve the individual case safety reports, how we receive the individual cases, individual safety cases, serious adverse events, how we report them how we write the narratives, how we do the meta coding, uh, how we then report this to the various regulatory agencies, these individual cases from time to time. And as per the various guidelines and the regulations of different regulatory agencies, which means this increases the responsibility of the drug companies globally. If the drug company, large global drug companies are marketing their drugs in 100, 140, 200 countries, they need to ensure that there is a proper scientific pharmacovigilance program is in place uh, for the for the reporting of the individual cases and the other kinds of reports. In this, the regulators expect the individual cases, spontaneous cases. There are things like aggregate report writing, which is the various kinds of aggregation of individual reports. Aggregation of individual reports are aggregate reports. And these vary from regulatory agency to regulatory agency. There is ISH format, which is called the PSER, Periodic Safety Update Reports. Then in US, we have the PEBRERs. In Europe, we have the PEBRERs. In US, we have the PADERs. And then you have for the clinical trials, you have the aggregate reports. The regulatory agencies do not stop here. They want to see your risk management plan for the drugs which you are marketing. What is your risk management plan in case anything goes wrong? What is your signal detection strategy? How do you find the new signal? Which means, how do you find the new uh, adverse drug reactions which are happening, which earlier during the clinical trials did not come up, but now you're getting the new adverse drug reactions. Now, how do you analyze these signals, the new signals which are coming? Are they related with the drug? Um, are they not related, unrelated? What is the causal relationship? So you need to do work on the signal detection strategies. You need to ensure the long-term quality assurance plan for your pharmacovigilance system master file, quality management system. So you need to put in place proper regulatory framework, quality management framework for your pharmacovigilance process. Same way in this program, you're going to learn all these things. This is what we cover in our program in a more comprehensive way, how the regulations work, how the individual case safety reportings are done, how the aggregate reports are written, signal detection, risk management models are built. So you will learn in detail quality management plan about the entire pharmacovigilance, including the use of certain softwares both in clinical trials and pharmacovigilance, clinical trial management system, electronic trial master file in clinical trial training, data management solutions. So you learn these softwares which are important for you going forward. So this is the second area which is in this program. Uh, the third part of the program is SAS related. Now, SAS is the statistical analysis, software and statistical analysis software, which is used for the statistical modeling of your clinical trial data. When you conduct the clinical trials, you have to present the final clinical trial report to the regulatory agencies. All these reports have to be presented to the regulatory agencies into the statistical format. And that's where the role of biostatistician and the statistical programmers come. The biostatisticians ensure that you have the right sample size model, the trial which you are conducted have the right representation of the number of subjects. They ensure that the drug is properly, you have the good, right, suitable sample size to ensure that the outcomes are measurable, and from the regulatory point of view, these statistical models are acceptable. Then we have to, on ongoing basis, do the statistical programming. All the clinical trial data which we are generating, we do the data management. Clinical data management is next specialization, where you collect the data, integrate the data, analyze the data, and for the purpose of statistical analysis. So you use the CDM models to provide the data in a structured format to statistical teams, to the statistical programming teams, which will do the necessary statistical programming and submit the data to the regulatory agencies in certain statistical formats. Now, the statistical programming, or the SAS, is the area of the pharma industry. It's the area under the clinical trials, but this requires the skill set in programming. So any students who are considering the career in SAS and they find the SAS fascinating, you need to ensure that you have interest in statistical programming. You have interest in IT and the computer programming. The SAS is pure programming job. It's a job which requires the computer programming. It requires the programming on SAS. The SAS, if you have to learn SAS, you have to learn in a structured manner. The SAS requires the base SAS, the very good, deeper understanding of base SAS programming. Once you've learned the base SAS, you move to the advanced SAS and the clinical SAS, where you are learning specifically advanced SAS and clinical SAS from the clinical SAS point of view, from the programming, SAS programming, more for the clinical trial data point of view. And that's where you will learn the new techniques and technologies, CDISC, SDTM technologies in the advanced SAS, where you train to become statistical programmer in the pharma industry, in the clinical trials industry. So anyone who wants to be in this career, make sure that you have a good understanding of mathematics, you like programming, or you have already some exposure of programming. You don't feel threatened by programming jobs. You don't feel insecure with the programming jobs. So this is what you require. So anyone wants to come into this, be prepared to be in a programming job. So that's where the SAS sort of comes in. Then comes the area, a very important area these days is called the pharmaceutical business analytics. It's a super specialized domain within the pharmaceutical industry. I'll talk briefly. I've also invited today my colleague, Mr. Dinesh Pandey, who is an eminent. He has spent about 16 years into the 17 years plus into the business analytics domain, into the pharma industry. In this sector, you are trained to become business analyst, in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, this is a very exciting area for the life sciences, pharmacy, and medical professionals. Every big pharmaceutical company requires to make important business decisions, important scientific decisions. These scientific and business decisions will lay your pathway for future growth of your molecules, or how to bring a new molecule. Let's say I'm a pharmaceutical company, a big pharma company. I want to launch a new molecule in oncology, in cancer. How do I decide which indication in oncology. Head and neck cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer. There's so many different varieties of cancer. Where do I invest? How do I make this $2 billion investment, $1.5–2 billion investment into the oncology drug? How do I make decision that this drug is going to grow when I bring this drug to the market? How much time it will take, whether it will take 6 years, 8 years, 9 years. What will happen at that time when I bring the drug 9 years later? Who are my competitors today? Who will be my competitors 9 years down the line? How do I forecast my sale 8 years down the line when I bring the drug to the market? How do I forecast my drug? How do I price my drug? How do I do the pricing model of my drug? Regulatory risks related with my drug. This is what a pharmaceutical business analyst does. Prepare the strategy reports, prepare the strategy models for the big pharma companies, and then in that process, you grow into that career. You start with the business analyst, you then grow, become associate consultant, team lead to vice president levels. You grow from that early business analyst to vice presidents, and this happens all the time in the companies. And our speaker today for this business analyst is a classic case how from a business analyst career to vice president level in a company, in a large corporate company. The same way this program will teach you in depth into these areas of how to conduct the market research, how to do the forecasting model, how to do competitive intelligence, how to do the pricing, economic models, regulatory models for your drug. So you learn in detail the analytics, but at the same time, you learn certain tools like Python, R, Tableau, Excel, advanced Excel models. So you learn all the things in these programs. Another important program, and as soon as I finish, I'll request Dinesh sir to come and take over a session on pharma business analytics. Then, last but not least, one more area is the drug regulatory, the pharmaceutical regulatory affairs area. This is another emerging sort of opportunities. As you all are aware, the pharma or medical device regulation industry is highly regulated. From the word go, from the point you get into the laboratory level testing, from the patent stage to lab stage to preclinical to clinical to marketing, post-marketing, pricing, packaging, transportation, drug manufacturing, every process of pharma sector is highly regulated. There are regulations at every stage. There are regulations at every stage. Now, in this career, you will learn how the regulations drive the pharma industry, what kind of regulations you need to follow in each country. How do you file regulatory applications for new drug testing first time to how do you do the investigational new drug applications or the new drug applications when you want to market? How do you want to market the drug? How do you do the dossier submissions in various countries? How do you write the common technical document? So it's a program which will give you the complete understanding about the drug regulatory affairs. So we have spoken about these things. There are other areas like medical devices. It's emerging area. Probably in the next 6 months, we will be talking a lot more about this career opportunity as well. Like pharma industry, the medical devices again is highly regulated area. how to develop new devices, how to conduct the new trials on the medical devices, how to obtain the complex regulatory approvals in the EU MDR domain, or the FDA, or the Indian regulations of the medical devices. So it's a very super specialized field emerging, and Cliniminds is shortly launching a program on medical devices as well. So very quickly, we will go through some little information about the Cliniminds, established in the year 2004. Today, we have alumni of close to about 9,500 students in various countries, including India, US, Europe, Africa. So over 25 countries where the students have done these programs. Several awards over the years. The program are certified program. Our program is accredited, certified under the Life Sciences Sector Skill Development Council, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. So all our the programs you're going to do under these, Cliniminds are all certified, accredited, which means your final examination is also taken by the government, department, by the LSSDC. That's where your final exam will take place online, and you get the Cliniminds certification, you get the direct certification by the government body. All our ex-students can now upgrade their, certificates through the Parak Se Pehchan scheme. All our old certificates, which were at some stage were not accredited under the government, they are now being accredited by the government as well as a part of the program. Your lot of awards in accreditation, international accreditation as well, since 2013 by the US body called Accreditation Council for Clinical Research Education. So it's over 10 years now we have the US accreditation. Hence, this is the reason we do large number of students, almost the second largest after India. Our students are in US. A recent award by the Business World, Economic Times, and all, they have several. The Cliniminds are backed up by a very strong academic and advisory board. On our academic and advisory board, we have various, senior, very senior industry professionals from India and overseas who guide us on constant basis on the industry, what requirements. They guide us on the syllabus. They interact with the students also from time to time. They provide us the broad guidance, the key industry guidance. So we have the formal roundtables with our academic and scientific advisory board, and we always take their views on the industry. And if you see, we have a very cross section of the advisory board, from the clinical trials to the academics to pharmacovigilance, business analytics, medical devices, Ayurveda, the private equity. We are also getting students nowadays who want to do startups. So we are supporting anyone student who want to do a startup after their course. We have a very sound system in place to support them, to give them the initial guidance, how to do a startup. And we have from a startup domain, a lot of experts, including the financial experts who come from the equity partners background, and they give guidance to the students on raising capital. We also have several international, collaborations with various universities. These are some of our schools. I just now discussed the various areas of expertise we have within the organization. So our programs are not restricted to the programs for the freshers who want to build career, or people who are the last 1 or 2 years and still not decided about the careers. We also have advanced program in various areas. In all these areas, what I spoke, we have from a entry-level program to the program for people who are 8, 9, 10 years experience. We have advanced training programs for working professionals, for the pharma companies, for the research companies. These are some of the faculty, key faculty members who teach, who will teach you from time to time on the various subjects. Large number of recruiters, over 150 recruiters now. Over the years, we provide excellent placement support to these students. These are some of the companies where our students are already working. Now, we have coming back to the placement side, we have a very robust placement system in place. People ask the question, do you give a guarantee of the placement? We said no, very clearly. We do not use the word called guaranteed placement. It's a very loosely used term, and we are in this profession since 2004. So today we do not use these terminologies used by various guaranteed placement, guaranteed appointment letters. We do not use these kind of terminologies. That's not only illegal, but also it's unfair, it's unprofessional, it's not right. So what we say, we have designed our program as per industry needs. We interact with the industry on regular basis. Practically every day basis, we are talking to industry. We design, modify, tweak, change our programs as per the constant requirements from the industry. Regularly, these changes are made into the syllabus, training techniques, software, whatever is required. We train students well. We give you the mock interviews. We train you for those interviews where we tell you what to speak, what not to speak in the interviews, what kind of a questions on the technical or HR or scientific side the recruiters will ask you. Then we give you those practice tests for the aptitude tests, whatever the recruiters standards have, we follow same standards for the training, for the recruitment, for the pre-placement trainings. We do exactly what the recruiters want. And then we arrange interviews. Arranging interviews with the companies is again our responsibility. Our first preference is always to give you the opportunity in the main city which is closer to you. I understand all of you do not live in the major cities. You live in the cities which are different from the far from the bigger cities. But most of the jobs today in the life sciences sector are confined to about 10 to 12 major cities, from Delhi NCR to Mumbai to Pune, all four cities, major cities of South, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mysore, Cochin, Trivandrum, uh, Bangalore. So all the five, six cities in South, Vadodara, Ahmedabad, uh, all these cities are the major. Kolkata is now becoming a good center. So majority of the jobs in the companies are confined to about 12 cities. And this is where you need to be prepared to relocate. If you want to grow into this profession, you need to be prepared to work in these industries or in these cities, because this is how we all started, including me and a lot of my colleagues just started working in different cities and slowly, settle down in a large city or eventually find something in your city where the companies are now slowly growing. Uh, so the progress is there where the companies are going into the tier 2, tier 3 cities, but the progress is comparatively slow. So you need to be ready. We will be giving you the right job opportunities. We arrange the interviews with the companies. You have to clear the interview. We'll prepare you for the interview. To the extent, I'll give you one example. Next week, there are interviews with a very large global CRO. Yesterday, and I think these interviews are on Tuesday, and yesterday we ran a last minute session for the students. 2 hour session, pre-interview. They've been trained already on those subjects, but again, we will give you those sessions. We expect you to attend these sessions. Now, we can't help students if they don't not willing to help themselves. So we provide these training sessions, pre-interview sessions. You have to go appear for interviews, clear these interviews, and get entry into the industry. So that's what we do. We call it our placement support, and this is the best placement 360-degree placement support. So we don't leave you till you're placed. We constantly give you the opportunities. If you're not performing well in the interviews, we'll give you the feedback. We will give you the, opportunities again. But in the process, come back to us, attend the sessions again, attend the pre-interview sessions again with us. It's not going to cost you anything coming back, and but our sort of a commitment to you is we'll give you interviews, but come back and uh, learn those mistakes, improve on those mistakes which you have done in the previous interviews. We are there to support constantly, and this is honestly we do not use those terminology of 100% guaranteed placement. We don't, and that's the reason over the years our today alumni is present in every global organization, because our job is to prepare you for that career, not give you the offer letter. I'll prepare you well. My team is rock solid. Every about 15, 16 trainers, they all come from different areas of expertise. They've spent from 16 years to 25, 30 years in this industry, and they are going to teach you. Apart from our regular teaching, we do things like your communication skills training. There are English communication sessions. There are personality development sessions. There are moral ethical sort of a classes. There are a lot of things we do in addition to your regular trainings. We also tied up on various technology partners to give you the more industry flavor into the program. So all our program have got the built-in internship model. We have a CRO called ThinkEye. ThinkEye is a group-owned CRO by TNet Health Group, and where we are working with the real industry on their clinical trials, pharmacovigilance, analytics, data management projects, and we give you the integrated sort of internship as a part of your program, for which you will also get a separate certification. So this is all one of the important things in our program is our learning management platform. We have an excellent company owned, developed company, this learning management system. Here you get ebooks. We have for every subject, we have ebooks. You will get access to the ebooks. We have a very sound learning management system where you get audio video recordings of all sessions. So all these programs are offered live through Teams, Google Meet, and all these platforms. You will get the live training sessions every day, 5 hours, 6 hours. Trainings are there Monday to Friday. All our full-time programs are Monday to Friday, 5 to 6 hours every day, where we teach not only the core subjects, group discussions, presentation skills, communication skills. For working professionals, we have 6 months programs. Full-time 3 months, Monday to Friday. Working professionals, the program is 6 months, Saturday, Sunday classes. So their duration is longer, 6 months, and we conduct the classes on Saturdays and Sundays for the working professionals. You get access to all audio video recordings. So every session which takes place is audio video recorded, and on the same day you get that access to the audio video recording. You get access to the PowerPoint presentations. You get access to the notes we have, ebooks we have on LMS platform. So you get access to all these things as a part of the program. These are some of our, customers. We also provide solutions to the various companies, consulting solutions, and these solutions keep us services which we work with the companies, keep us aligned with the industry, and we enjoy excellent relationships with the industry. And this is our network. This is where the Cliniminds is today present nationally and internationally. Why Cliniminds? The last but not least is the why Cliniminds. The one of the most important areas is the experience of 18 plus years. A lot of institutions come cheaper, new, but today we have a history. As an organization, we are there for the last 18 years. We have witnessed three recessions. We have seen the entire industry cycle. We have seen our students growing from a research coordinator to the director in the company. So we have seen a lot over the years, from a CRC who joined, who is now director level, and there are a large number of students who are GMs, senior managers in the companies today, and we work very closely with our alumni. Uh, Today placements are in 150 plus organization, 360 placement degree support. I just explained how we work on your placements. Programs are accredited, certified under the Government of India body, LSSDC, and the US accreditation. We also have an industry advisory board. Then we also cover, the job programs are all job roles, the job roles linked certifications. They are not the new programs. The programs are promoted, managed by the top industry experts today. We have a strong academic board, technical advisory board. We have the roundtable meetings with the industry experts on regular basis. Softwares, for example, we have for every program average two softwares are minimum into the each program. So you will learn hands-on these software so that when you go for interview, you can very confidently appear for interviews. You will know what the drug safety associate does, what the CRC does, what the ETMF specialist does, what your other, job roles as a BABE person, as a regulatory person, what you're going to do. You will have fair bit of idea before you even go for the interview. And last but not least, industry experts, trainers. We have a team which consists of 16 to 18 full-time, plus we have visiting experts from the various companies, and all our full-time team members are also from the industry, with the industry experience of close to about 15, 16 years plus onwards, all our team members. So this is it. Before we take your question, I will now quickly invite Mr. Dinesh Pandey. Dinesh, are you there today?
Yeah, Kamalji, I'm there.
Okay, great. So I will stop sharing and I would request